If you work with multimodal data regularly, then this might sound familiar. So imagine that you're an experienced data person and you've been working with just piles of unstructured multimodal files like images, audio, documents, video files. And you've been working really hard to transform those media files into something usable by another tool or another team. Usually, this involves extracting structured data from the unstructured data, including metadata, embeddings, scores, labels, all of those things that can be easily represented with integers or strings. So now comes the tricky part. You need to figure out what that handoff looks like. In this video, we'll talk through how to think about that handoff and how Pixeltable can help. Okay, everything I'm going to cover in this video is also covered on the pixeltable.com blog if you'd like to read more about how to export Pixeltable tables to Apache Iceberg for Lakehouse analytics. I'll include this link in the description below. You can also go over to the Pixeltable documentation site, which is docs.pixeltable.com. And if you go to the Pixeltable SDK tab, click down to the import and export area, and you'll see the IO module there. There, you'll note that there's a few functions that we support for being able to export to different formats. In this video, we'll cover export CSV, Iceberg, and JSON, but you can see that there's other export formats as well, and other ways to import data into Pixeltable, which might be helpful as you're getting started. So exporting data for analytics is a really common workflow when you're working with unstructured data and you need to prepare that handoff for a team who wants to work with just the structured stuff, please. So you've used Pixeltable to turn a pile of unstructured files into some structured columns. Now you need to figure out how to coordinate that handoff and send the structured data to somebody else. So it's important to remember that Pixeltable columns are not always plain scalars, and different export formats differ in terms of what they preserve. I think there's three main things to think about when you're deciding which format, if you have flexibility on that. So the first is nested structures. Are you exporting embedding arrays or metadata objects? Some export formats preserve that structure, others flatten it. Rich types. Do you have columns whose type a reader couldn't reliably infer from the values inside the columns? You might be familiar with struggling to typecast timestamps, floats versus integers, things like that. Media references. Do the exported media paths need to point to remote storage like S3 buckets, Google Cloud Storage, R2, so that other people can fetch the files just with those file paths? An export from Pixeltable carries the paths, not the files. So a path to a file on one person's machine is oftentimes not very useful to anyone but that person. So in this video, I'm going to talk through how to export a table or a filtered query to CSV, JSON, or Apache Iceberg formats, how to keep media references portable instead of writing local file paths, and how to use advanced Iceberg options for existing tables. And here's a nifty little table just to help you organize what I just talked about in terms of those three factors for each of the formats. So we're going to walk through export underscore CSV, export underscore JSON, and export underscore Iceberg. So I'm going to start by setting up. I've already created my fresh directory here. And now I'm going to just load it up with some sample data. So I'm going to create a single table. It has two columns. One is of type Pixeltable image, and the other is of type string. And I'm going to insert three images that are hosted on the Pixeltable docs. So these are just URLs, labels cat, bicycle, living room. I believe those labels are wrong. We'll check it out. Okay, so now I'm going to add some computed columns to that table. So this table currently just has images and labels in it. So let's compute width, height, and mode of each of those images. So pulling out some structured data from those unstructured image files. So we'll compute those three column values. And then here I'm going to quickly show you a preview of what this looks like in a typical Pixeltable workflow notebook. Obviously, there is no cat nor a bicycle. There is actually a living room. But if you're going to export, you wouldn't have this image column, right? You'd probably select it out and include just the label, the width, the height, and the mode, for example. So let's play around with exporting to CSV. We can write a query or a table to a single file with export underscore CSV, and it does encode nested JSON and array values as JSON strings and skips binary columns. So I'm going to first export underscore CSV using this features table, and then the out directory is image features.csv. And then I'm going to read it back in and show you that indeed we have round tripped that simple data table. Now, export JSON writes one JSON object per line, which streams really well and is easy to read line by line. Nested JSON and array columns keep their native structure, so if that's really important to you, you should definitely try to use this function. We don't have examples of that in this output that we created, but you can see that we can round trip it and read it back in. Here we're using pandas to read the JSON file, and we used pandas to do the read underscore CSV as well. And then finally, we're going to export to Apache Iceberg. So export Iceberg streams rows into a catalog that you provide. For this demo, I'm going to use PyIceberg SQL catalog with a local SQLite metadata store and directory warehouse. So you can point this at your real catalog in production and nothing else should change. So I'm going to run this. And now we can pass a table or a query, the catalog, and a table name. Iceberg names are namespace qualified, so that's like namespace.table. So here we're going to write analytics.image underscore features. Analytics is the namespace and image underscore features is the table name. So let's go ahead and export our features table to Iceberg. And you can see here, I'm exporting it. The table carries a typed schema, not just a header row of values. And here I'm loading it back in, and you can see that we've again round tripped it here. You can see the schema actually. And you can see nested fields, for example. Sorry, it's a little hard for me to scroll left to right here, but you can see that we have in fact round tripped it, and you can see the schema is preserved. And the rows obviously would exist. So Spark, DuckDB, or Snowflake would query the same table. Now, there are some additional advanced Iceberg options that are worth knowing about if this is your preferred output format. So you can actually control what happens when the target table already exists with the if exists parameter. So you might want to append rows to an existing table, for example, if the schema matches. So here in this example, I'm going to append the same 3 rows to the same table that I already had. And you can see here that it's showing me that I now have 6 rows. I've just basically added the same features table back on top of the same table that I already exported. And then you can see now I have 6 rows instead of 3. You can also export embeddings. So embeddings and feature vectors are Pixeltable array columns. Iceberg doesn't have a fixed shape tensor type. So a fixed shape array to a list can be converted with toList first. And variable shape arrays already map to Iceberg lists. So here I'm going to run this code chunk. And you can see here created table vectors, inserted 2 rows, and you can see that the embeddings are preserved. You can also override column types. So Iceberg infers types from the Pixeltable schema. You can use schema overrides to pin a specific PyArrow type, for example, to store a 32-bit PXT float as a 64-bit double. So I'm going to run this code chunk, and you can see exactly that output. Now in Pixeltable, you can also export a filtered query. So every export function takes a query. And so that means that you can filter rows and project columns before writing in any format. So not just for Iceberg. Here we keep only wide images and 2 columns. So here I'm doing it with export underscore CSV, and I'm just keeping them where the image width was greater than 500. So keeping media references portable is often really important for a team handoff. So an export carries a reference to each media file. When you work with Pixeltable inside a notebook, for example, you might be used to the amazing feeling of being able to have images, playable audio, playable videos in your notebook table viewer. But when you're exporting, you need to be able to just have a file path. So a media column gives you 2 references to choose from. Either its value, which is the local cache path on the machine that ran the export. It resolves nowhere else. Or its file URL, which is where the file is stored. So this can be a URL, S3, and that would be where it was inserted from originally. So the export writes a reference, not the bytes, so it can't make a file reachable on its own. The recipient can get to your media only if it is already living in storage they can access, which in practice usually means some shared cloud storage somewhere. So how each format handles the media, export CSV and export JSON, export file URL for you. So that would be what you want if you want to preserve the original source in an S3 bucket, for example, or a URL. Export Iceberg inlines image columns as bytes, but it writes the local cache path for video, audio, and documents. You can select file URL yourself when the table needs to travel. So this video below, oops, there we go, is inserted from a URL. So its file URL is that URL. and CSV will export it directly. So let's check out the output. There you go. So you can see that this is the original URL that I imported from, or that I inserted from. Exported directly to Iceberg, the same column becomes a machine local path. So you can see that it's in my Pixeltable file cache. Instead, I can use file URL, and there now you can see that I've restored the original source file. So every column has a Pixeltable type, and I really encourage you to check out our multimodal type system docs to get the full view of all of the types that we support and the built-in functions that we include in our runtime to be able to work with those. So it makes it possible to store images, video, and embeddings in the same table. And on export, each type maps to the closest thing the destination format supports. So here's a table that might be able to help you map the Pixeltable types onto the types that they get encoded in CSV, JSON, and Iceberg outputs. So I hope this was helpful if you're trying to organize a handoff to another team with data that you've extracted from Pixeltable. Here's the link to read more about exporting Pixeltable tables to Apache Iceberg. And check out our GitHub repository. Give it a star if you found this video helpful. Starring it helps other developers discover Pixeltable.